Florida. Man, the myth, the meth addict, a truly fascinating being.
What's he up to, man? What's he doing?
For more than a decade, Florida Man has been a consistent staple of American discourse, an icon whose countless adventures and escapades have garnered the awe of millions of Americans and people all around the globe. With remarkable headlines such as Florida Man tries running to Bermuda, giant hamster wheel. Again, Florida Man gets tired of waiting in hospital, steals ambulance, drives home. Florida Man denies drinking and driving, says he only drank bourbon at stop signs. Florida Man steals BMW after he's told he can't buy it with food stamps. Florida Man dances on patrol car in order to escape vampires. And of course, Florida Man in bull costume tries burning former lover's house down with pasta sauce. Yes, that is an actual headline. However, while these news articles and stories might be the most hilarious shit you'll ever read on the news, it also does make you wonder, what the fuck is going on in Florida? Is it the weather? The drugs? Scientology? Evil Disney mind control? Or is it perhaps the water?
I like friggin' frogs!
Well, actually, it's none of those things. Because Florida's reputation of being a state full of random weirdos has less to do with the behavior of its residents and more to do with its ease of access to police reports. Florida's public record laws, or so-called sunshine laws, give pretty much anyone and everyone access to real-time crime information. And this is the main reason for Florida Man's existence, as it's basically a cheat code for journalists. Because over the years, news outlets would just pull up Florida's police incident reports whenever there was nothing to report on to drive up engagement on slow news days. So, does this mean that Florida isn't actually that crazy? Well, no, it very much is. It's just that the other states are also fucking crazy. We just don't hear about them. And this got me thinking, could there be another Florida Man out there? Could there be a state even more insane than Florida, hiding its true form from all of us? And if there is, which one could it be? Which state could possibly rival It's Ohio? I mean, really, what else did you expect? It is called the Florida of the Midwest after all. Even though it isn't in the mid, nor the fucking west. Someone needs to teach Americans that this isn't how directions work. But anyways, you see, it is only natural that I picked Ohio as Florida's rival. Because once you start looking into it, you'll realize that both of these states do have a lot in common. Everyone hates Florida, everyone hates Ohio. The weather in Florida drives people mad, the weather in Ohio drives people mad. Florida has a drug crisis, Ohio has a drug crisis. Even the news headlines are similar. Florida man throws alligator at Wendy's employee, Ohio man throws iguana at Perkins employee. They're basically the same. And to prove this point further, let me read you some more Ohio man headlines. Ohio man mayor suggests ice fishing could lead to prostitution in ice shanties. Ohio man arrested after bad karaoke performance. Ohio woman entered stranger's home, pet dog, washed dishes, and left. Ohio man revived from drug overdose by cops, steals police cruiser, on the loose. Ohio woman lets God take the wheel as test of faith in high-speed crash. Ohio woman arrested after fondling Easter bunny. Ohio man who stole truck calls police after someone else stole the truck. And Ohio man sues after legless juggalo crashes into him with a golf cart at insane clown posse gathering. Yeah, I think I proved my point. Ohio man definitely qualifies as a rival for Florida man. But is he even crazier? Well, I think in order to answer that, we'll need a bit more information. Now, one of the things that makes Florida seem crazier than the other states is that the people of Florida have a weird obsession with alligators. So much so that some of them even keep them as pets and emotional support animals. But it's not just the Floridians who have weird obsessions, because just as Florida has its alligators, Ohio has shit. Now literally, I mean actual shit. When I was looking up some of the news stories coming out of Ohio, I could not believe the amount of stories related to
human fecal matter.
It's just one story after the other. Serial pooper here, serial pooper there, serial pooper everywhere.
Well, you could call him public enemy number 2.
However, amongst all of these pooping bandits, one man stands above them all. The infamous bowel movement bandit. A man so prolific at emptying his gut that he's left the entire Kenmore neighborhood in Akron terrorized for almost half a decade. In the years between 2012 and 2015, the pooping bandit has left his fecal surprises in more than 20 reported locations in the Akron area, with most of them being left on private vehicles. Why, you ask? Nobody knows. And none of the people affected even know who the guy is. He's truly an enigma who just loves pressing his bum against cars. So much so that he has even targeted the exact same cars multiple times.
7. This is our 7th time here.
He did it on the hood every time, and then the one time he took it and he smeared it all over the hood, the windshield, the mirrors, the window, the door handles, and the gas tank cover.
How many times would you guess, at a minimum, he's done this?
At least 100.
Unfortunately, the steamer from Ohio still hasn't been caught to this day and remains to be identified. For now. But with that knowledge, let's return to the original question again. So, is Ohio man crazier than Florida man? No, he isn't. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid no one is going to be able to beat Florida man in terms of craziness. Do you remember how I said earlier that the reason for Florida man's existence is the sunshine laws? Well, that part is not entirely true. Now, there are many other reasons for why Florida man behaves the way he does. Reasons like drugs, mental health issues, scorching heat and humidity, poor material conditions, and so on. But none of those things are really exclusive to Florida alone. Most of those issues exist in the other states as well. Except for one thing. And that is lead. In the United States, there are currently a total of 9.2 million lead pipes carrying water into various homes across the country, and 1.16 million of them are in Florida, making it by far the state with the most amount of lead pipes, with over 12% of the nation's total. And this is where you get the craziness from, because even the lowest levels of lead exposure can result in damage to the brain and nervous system, causing behavioral issues such as hyperactivity and aggression. Now, admittedly, Ohio isn't too far off either when it comes to this, as it's ranked 3rd in the nation. But still, Florida is number 1. So, it was the water all along. Wait a second. The water is turning the frickin' frogs gay!